Welcome to Inconvenient Truths. I'm your host, Jennifer Zeng. Today I will talk about how the discovery of the body of Hu Xinyu, a high school student in China, has raised more questions than answers, and how the education system in China could have become a co-conspirator in the billion-dollar organ harvesting and transplant crime. I think you will be shocked after viewing all the facts and evidence. A while ago, we reported the mysterious disappearance of a 15-year-old high school student, Hu Xinyu, in Jiangxi province in China. Basically, the boy was a resident student of a private school called Zhiyuan High School, but just disappeared from school on October 14th in broad daylight. After that, the police organized multiple large-scale searches for him. At one stage, as many as 5,000 people participated in the search every day. The police also said they interviewed as many as over 2,000 households, 159 businesses, and 951 truck drivers, searched all the 226 temples and 25 nursing homes in the county, and repeatedly checked over 6,000 hours of surveillance videos and 317,000 photos captured from traffic surveillance videos, etc. Apart from this, Hu Xinyu's parents also hired private search and rescue companies to search for him, and police dogs were also deployed, etc. However, with all these efforts, no trace of him whatsoever was found. The police only concluded that none of the teachers or students in the school were to be suspected. All of them were innocent. Then 2 days ago, on January 29th, the police announced that on January 28th, they received a report from the public that a head body was found in a wooded area in the Jinjishan area. Jinjishan means Golden Cock Hill. The police rushed there and found that the clothes on the body looked the same as the clothes that Hu Xinyu wore when he went missing. And then on January 29th, the police confirmed the body was Hu Xinyu via DNA test. They also said that a recording pen was found at the scene and had been sent to a professional institution for further investigation. When this announcement was released, all social media platforms across China were abuzz with anger, as the woods is just about several hundred meters away from the school and had been searched by tens of thousands of people many times. How could nobody find anything until now? People say this kind of claim is an insult to our IQ. Also, people who have professional knowledge said it's impossible for a body to be hung on the tree for that long. 106 days had passed since he went missing. If he hung himself on the tree, the body would have long been decomposed and would have fallen. If he only hung himself recently, where had he been hiding for 3 months? When he went missing, he didn't have his cell phone, wallet, or bank cards with him. And in October last year, China was still under lockdown. Without a health code on your phone, you can't go anywhere. How would he have survived for more than 3 months without money or a cell phone? Then yesterday, on January 30th, Chinese language media reported that his body was not found in the woods, but inside a grain storage warehouse near the school. His mother said the jacket on on his body was worn backward, but the white shirt underneath the jacket was missing. It was also reported that his body was hung inside the warehouse with shoelaces. Can you hang the body up with shoelaces? People became even more angry and suspicious. These are said to be the photos showing the police inspecting the scene near the warehouse. And this is the wall of the school with surveillance cameras on it. And this photo, was taken in Jinjishan area, showing how one can see the school building from that area. That's how close the Jinjishan area is to the school. Now, the Jinjishan area was blocked by police. As a matter of fact, ever since Hu Xinyu went missing, there have been police officers guarding the school. Let's watch a video that was probably taken on January 9th.
致远中学现在有警察。
So he's saying 致远 High School. Now there are police officers here.
致远中学。
致远 High School. Actually, you can see a lot of police there. So before Hu Xinyu's body was found, when his parents were still madly looking for him, rumors that he had been murdered for his organ were widely circulated. Some said that his blood type was very special and was found to be the right match for a high-ranking CCP official, and that was why he was specially recruited by Zhiyuan High School. People say that according to Zhiyuan High School's enrollment plan, only 150 students would be enrolled that year, but they ended up enrolling 151. The extra one was Hu Xinyu. His test score was far below the school's enrollment line, but they not only enrolled him, but also offered him a 1,500 yuan scholarship. People also say that since 2008, every year there have been students going missing from Zhiyuan High School. Some say 17 have gone missing, some say 21. As to who obtained Hu Xinyuan's organs, there are 3 recent accounts of CCP leaders leading organs. One was that Gao Zhanxiang, former vice minister of CCP's Ministry of Culture, got Hu Xinyu's organs, but the transplants failed and Gao died on December 9th. I think perhaps the reason that people were talking about this is that after Gao's death, Zhu Yongxing, a member of the Standing Committee of CCP's Political Consultative Conference, wrote an article to commemorate him. And according to that article, Gao himself said, "Many parts of my body are not my own, as many of his organs were replaced." Another account was that the deputy party secretary in the county needed an organ. The third account was that it is Wang Xiaohong, the party secretary and minister of the CCP's Ministry of Public Security, who needed a liver as he had liver cancer. Wang Xiaohong was just promoted to secretary for the secretariat of the Chinese Communist Party after the CCP's 20th National Party Congress, and he is Xi Jinping's right-hand man, whom Xi Jinping trusted very much. However, he was absent from 2 recent CCP meetings, so people said it was because of his bad health and that he needed an organ transplant. I don't think right now we can have the means to verify what exactly happened to Hu Xinyu after he went missing, whether his organs were removed or who obtained his organs, if yes. But from the way how the CCP tightly guarded the school, how the surveillance camera recordings could be deleted, and how a chemistry teacher of Zhiyuan High School acted so wildly and arrogantly in the face of Hu Xunyu's mother's questioning, we know this case must not be a simple one. High-level CCP officials and secrets must be involved. That's why, despite so much public attention, no truth can be found. Actually, when I tried to find out more information about Hu Xinyu's case, I realized a terrifying industry might have already been set up inside the Chinese school system to make every student become a possible organ donor when needed. Let's see our first piece of information. According to an audio file in Chinese, when a high-ranking CCP official in Beijing needed an organ, local officials in Jiangxi province approached Liu Gulai, the principal of Zhiyuan High School, to find a match. Liu Gulai did not find a match or a matching organ among the students of his school, but later expanded the scope of medical examination to Taoyuan High School and successfully found a match there, and that match was Hu Xinyu. So Hu was later specially recruited to Zhiyuan High School so that they could kill him there to get the organs. Now let's watch another video I found today. I call it the most terrifying oath I have ever heard. Please read the subtitles.
我自愿成为遗体器官捐献者。
30名现场参与者登记成为遗体器官捐献志愿者，并集体宣誓。
Well, do you feel strange? There are over 100 million people in the US who have registered to become organ donors after they die. Have you ever seen any kind of ceremony to make a vow to become a donor? Why did they need to put such a show? And the so-called volunteer organ donors in the video are teenagers, high school students. And this happened in Jiangxi province on December 5th, 2020. Hu Xinyu's Zhiyuan High School is exactly in Jiangxi province. See this report by Reuters. The report says, quote, a Chinese gene company selling prenatal tests around the world developed them in collaboration with the country's military and is using them to collect genetic data from millions of women for sweeping research on the traits of populations. U.S. government advisors warned that a vast bank of genomic data that the company BGI Group is amassing and analyzing with artificial intelligence could give China a path to economic and military advantage, unquote. This is a screenshot of China National Gene Bank established by BGI Group. The introduction says China National Gene Bank is one of the key science infrastructures in Shenzhen, approved and funded by the Chinese government. And these are the services that BGI proudly provides to the public. You can see that they include neonatal testing, women's health testing, detection of monogenic diseases, prenatal testing, pre-pregnancy testing, etc. Now, let's see this official report. It was published in September 2021. It says free prenatal genetic screening for pregnant women from needy families in Jiangxi province. The report says that Jiangxi province has invested 30 million yuan, or about $4.4 million to do free prenatal genetic screening for pregnant women from poor families. And the services area included Shangyao City, where Hu Xinyu's Zhiyuan High School is located. You know, when the Chinese people were suffering very badly from COVID, the CCP refused to receive free vaccines offered by other countries and refused to include good quality medicine in its medical insurance plan to help the Chinese people. Why would it be so generous to offer free screening to pregnant women from poor families? A while ago, Lin Zhibo, the Sichuan bureau chief of the CCP's mouthpiece People's Daily, wrote this, and I quote, "The reason why the expensive organ transplant business will boom is that the genetic data of the vast majority of the country's people is controlled by capital. They will easily find a match for the transplant recipient in a vast amount of genetic data, and then the person disappears. This is scary dynamic, unquote. From the public information we can gather, the CCP started to gather pregnant women's genetic data at least 10 years ago. If such a database is established, wouldn't it be too easy to find an organ match when the CCP official is in need? Now, let's look at this screenshot. It is an old document from 2007. It says a joint meeting on international standard organ donation and triage system was held in Guangzhou City from January 20th to 22nd. 2007, and the meeting was jointly organized by the Ministry of Education, the key laboratory of organ transplantation of the Ministry of Health, the iBank of the International Lion Society, and the China Organ Donation and Allocation Alliance Hospital. About 200 participants attended the meeting, etc. After Hu Xinyu's disappearance, some Chinese netizens found this very old document and exclaimed, "What does the Ministry of Education have anything to do with organ donation? Why was the Ministry of Education the #1 organizer of such a meeting? Has the CCP long since listed students as potential organ donors?" It is very scary. You know, recently there's a new term that is very popular on Chinese social media, and that new term is 人矿, which can be translated as human mind. Chinese people say we are like a human mind that the CCP can dig up and utilize. After being utilized, we are dumped by the CCP like slag. I don't know which is more miserable, to be treated as a human mind or as a walking organ bank or a temporary storage for organs that could ultimately belong to somebody else. Right now, we don't know what the CCP will tell us about how and when Hu Xinyu died. After such a long time, his body was so decomposed that it was impossible to tell if his organs had been removed or not. One of the reasons why Hu Xinyu's case drew so much attention is that if this can happen to Hu Xinyu, it can happen to every child in China. According to the CCP's own figures, every year there are 1, 2, or 3 million people who go missing. And in recent years, there are more and more cases of university and high school students going missing. Many years ago, in 2006, when the CCP's crime of killing people for their organs was first revealed, nobody believed it. And very few people in Chinese society cared that much either, as at that stage the victims were many Falun Gong practitioners, Uyghurs, and prisoners of conscience. These people were minorities and had been demonized by the CCP, so ordinary Chinese people didn't care that much. But now things are different. The crime has expanded to students, and everyone's child can become a victim. That's why so many people are so closely following Hu Xinyu's case. But can the truth be found out? Many people doubt it. Who still remember the story of the chained mother? She was chained in a shabby shed as a sex slave for at least 3 men and was forced to give birth to 8 children. When her miserable story became known, almost everybody cried out for justice on the internet. But what happened after that? We last saw her on TV in a mental hospital. After that, nobody knows where she was, she has been sent, or whether she is still alive. A while ago, 1 year after her story became known, a famous Chinese lawyer wanted to go to the village where she was chained and was stopped before he could enter the village. 1 year later, the CCP is still guarding that village to make sure that nobody from the outside can get in to get any information out about the poor chained mother. The latest news about Hu Xinyu case is Zhiyuan High School opened yesterday, that's January 30th, and the students say the school doesn't allow them to talk about Hu Xinyu's case. In the meantime, Hu Xinyu's parents and uncle have been sent to a hotel and detained there. Their cell phones were taken away and they are being watched 24 hours a day. Surveillance cameras have been installed in front of the house of Hu Xinyu's grandparents, and not only can they not go out, they also cannot even contact their daughter. By the way, Hu Xinyu was the number 1,968 reported missing person in his county, and for the past 8 years, 1 person has gone missing in less than every 2 days. Well, that's all for today. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. If you're already subscribed, please like and share my content and double check that you are still subscribed. Also, if you could, please go to my website at jenniferzengblog.com. That's jenniferzengblog.com. Sign up for a membership or make a donation to support my truth-telling efforts. I always post my scripts with links to the material sources I use in my shows so that members can choose to read the scripts instead of watching the videos to save time or to explore more and do their own research if they are interested. Thank you. See you next time.